Black women, I want to talk to you sisters about basically some of the issues that I have been observing. We've all been observing them, but I'm going to put them together in this video to really come at you with the real and the raw like I do. And sisters, I want to talk about the issues black women deal with that, basically come from other black women, getting over black woman hateration. All right, you might have more than one, you might have plural, so you might have to get over many black women and their hateration. Okay, this issue comes down to the hateration that I'm talking about concerning black women and black women as haters. It's going to deal with black women when you're talking about religion, when you're talking about hair, skin color, education, whether you have children or not, whether you have a northern or southern accent, Midwestern accent, West Coast accent, whether you're fat, whether you're thin, whether you're in between, whether you're short or tall, whether you go to church or not, whether you go to the mosque or not, whether you go to the club or not. And, one very funny one that black women tend to hate on each other for, and that there's division is among black women, is even if you speak proper English. Okay, so I'm going to talk about some of this because I'm just really realizing that no one's going to bring this to you in this same format that I'm bringing it to you, because basically a lot of black women, either they don't want to step on people's toes, or they're holding a lot of these issues within themselves towards other black women. Now, some black women are not going to really admit this shit, but I'm going to say it anyway. Okay, there's so many children out here right now that have issues with skin color, and it's directly coming from their mothers, their fathers, their friends, or whatever have you. But I believe a lot of black women aren't doing their job. They're not teaching their children to not be prejudiced to other black people. And this is why colorism is the way it is because there's just not enough people who are educating their children. You cannot have children if you're not going to teach them a motherfucking thing. That's just it. That's my rule, period. Stop having kids if you're not going to teach them a motherfucking thing. And, because once a black person starts having issues about color, it's over. It's over for them. It's over for them for doing it. It's over for them for feeling some type of way. I mean, we've got grown black men in our community that cannot get over their issues of colorism. And they go out and they're famous, and they go out and all over the place, and they talk a lot of noise, bashing and degrading black women over color issues. But because black women cannot come together, because sisters have hateration, they can't come together over color. Colorism continues to be one of the top issues in the black community. It's sad to say because it's stupid as fuck, but that's just the way it is. Then you've got this hair issue. Black women we're our first haters. We hate on each other because of each other's hair. One person wants to wear weave, another person wants to be natural. Those two sisters are not seeing eye to eye. So we're divided about hair. I know there's sisters who have weaves that support naturals, and I know there's sisters who have naturals that support weaves, but for the most part, it's still we're very divided about this. You don't see white women being divided over hair issues. Now, I'm not going to say they're not divided over hair color issues, because I don't know. Blondes versus brunettes, and, I don't know how they do that, but I do know just stereotypes that are out there based on their hair colors. So I'm sure some of that may have affected them or whatever, but we are talking about our natural hair versus our synthetic hair. Okay, black women. The hateration is just extensive among black women, and this could be the number one reason why we do not have a true sisterhood. And that's got to change, because if it doesn't change, we're all not only are we not going to get anywhere, we're not going anywhere with what we're doing. And I mean, in our real lives, in our social media lives, we're not going anywhere fast if we don't get over some of this petty stuff. Let me tell you something. I met this sister. She was real nice. This was just a couple years ago, and she asked me to go to her church. Mind you, we didn't meet at church. We met. I don't know, I was somewhere buying something, and she was there buying something, and we just started communicating about what we were buying. Anyway, the sister asked me several times over the course of a year to go to her church. And, I'm a nice person, so I told her I'd get around to it and that I'd go. Well, eventually, after a year of not going, do you know this sister got mad at me? Very passive aggressive. Okay, very passive aggressive. And all I'm saying is, black women, you can't get mad at somebody because somebody doesn't want to go to your church. That's hateration. That's division. That's unnecessary drama. Okay? And some black women, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to just be honest, some black women will cut you slam off if you don't do something they ask you to do the first time they ask you to do it. Or they'll hold that one thing over your head that if you don't do, they are waiting for you to do it. And if you don't do it, they're ready to cut you off. Because I've said in other videos, that's what black women do. When they get tired of your ass, you're going to get yourself some cut off. That's her ultimate revenge and weapon. Okay? The cut off. She's not going to talk to you. She's going to be very passive aggressive. And this is garbage behavior, black women. This is childish. Now, granted, there are people you're not going to be able to always confront and have a discussion with. And I don't mean confront like in an argumentative way. But you need to learn that basically you need to talk it out. Okay? To me, black women are really dealing with a lot of unnecessary hateration and division over things that should be someone's personal choice. But the problem is because we as a group of women are ridiculed so much in this nation and around the globe, and because our own black males tend to throw us under the bus and disrespect us in the ways that they do so publicly and even so horribly privately, when one black woman decides to do something, it affects all black women. One black woman is responsible for the whole collective. And that's one of the reasons why I think we have so much division within ourselves as black women, because we're scared to associate with a black woman if she's not on the path that we're on, or the path that is the accepted path, or the path that we think is the better path, because we don't want the bullseye on us. And so if we can get to the bottom of this issue as black women and be a little more courageous, I think it will really help us in our sisterhood, in our black women circles. We just can't be afraid of ourselves like the way that I think black women are. We're afraid of ourselves. We don't want to be associated with each other. Well, how the fuck you... Look, if you are too good to be associated with another black woman, at that point in your life, you are a coward. If you believe that, if you are that fragile and your self-esteem is that low that you feel that the mistake of one black woman is going to be pinned on you, then you're too insecure and too cowardly to be of any real help to the black woman sisterhood. That's what I feel. I mean, I just think black women need to be able to understand that you are not responsible for other black women's choices. And I must admit, yes, we are all have been taking a collective ass whipping from people who look like us, that come from us, that just happen to have dicks. We've been taking an ass whipping from them because they have been not afraid to speak up and yak their ass away into oblivion about every single thing that we do as black women. They have not been afraid to speak up. They don't care how it makes them look as men. They don't care if they don't have, if they have not progressed in society and in the world further as a result of their dogma of their own women. They don't care. But because black women are afraid to have the, this target placed on her back because of the mistake of another black woman, she's afraid of all of the people around her. She's afraid of what black males think, white females think, other races think. We're carrying an extremely heavy burden. And that's why I think we have a lot of black woman hateration going on. It's just basically going to come down to black women having to have more courage. That's what it's going to come down to. I mean, because anytime you cannot, as a group of women, get over petty stuff in the dire straits that we've been in as a collective, you can't get over people's accents. When you can't get over whether someone is young or old. I'm talking about you can't get over a black woman's accent. You can't get over a black woman's age. You can't get over whether a black woman is fat or thin. You can't get over whether a black woman is short or tall, whether she goes to church or not, whether she's a Muslim or not, whether she's a Christian or not, whether she's an atheist or not. I mean, whether she's educated or not. Everybody's trying to talk to black women. And I'm talking about black women are trying to talk to black women, but black women are afraid to be associated with black women. And as long as we have issues like that, black women, shit ain't gonna change just because you want it to. A lot of what black women are doing what I'm saying is a lot of black women, what we are doing is we want to disassociate with each other while we try to associate with each other. Well, how in the hell are we going to get anywhere if we're too good to be a part of the group? I need an answer. If we're too good to be a part of our own group, then how the hell are we going to do anything different than accept the group whipping and the ass whipping that black women have been taking from people who look like us, that come from us, who just happen to have dicks? How are we going to get past that? Because when they're speaking against you, they're talking about everybody. They don't care. They don't see who you are on the internet. They don't even know you. But because they think you're a black woman behind that, because they think that you are a black woman behind that avatar or that YouTube account, you're responsible. It's you, by the way. Didn't you know that? It's you. You did it. You did it to them. And you're their enemy. And so there's just a natural amount of hateration that's going to occur because black women are very skittish and very scared and rightfully so in a lot of ways, because we're dealing with a lot of madmen. We're dealing with a lot of crazy people. We're dealing with a lot of monsters. And like I said, I tell you, black women, when it comes down to it, I've been talking about black men as monsters for the past few years on YouTube. And, Steve, or whatever that guy's name is, it doesn't even sound like a real name, but anyway, his actions didn't surprise me. His heart was filled with hatred. Supposedly it's because of the girlfriend and the mother. And the only thing I can say about that is Males will be males. I'll put it like that. And black males will certainly be black males. And you cannot expect much more than that. It was awfully hateful to pin his belief system, his belief that his mother and his girlfriend had something to do with the hellified state of mind that he was in. That was hatred on camera, being filmed right in front of you. The hateration that he felt and the need to pin something on two black women who played very key roles in his life is exactly why black women, you are afraid of each other. You don't want to be responsible for anything more than what you have to be responsible for. And that's understandable. But we've got to get past this association and disassociation behavior, because it's looking like hateration in motion. And a lot of this is why black women are not able to be consistent and band together the way that we should. We need to band together. We need to band together to get past the fear that we're going to be responsible for the mistakes of other black women. Because guess what? No matter what, whether it happens to you individually, whether somebody pins something on you that another black woman has done individually, that's one thing. But you are still responsible, if you didn't know, for what all black women have done anyway. You're still responsible. So, what we have now is the issue of branding. Okay, black women don't want to associate their brand with each other. You know, we have one sister that I've seen a few of her videos over the course of a couple of years. I don't watch her channel much, but, you know, she talks a lot about colorism and so on and so forth. This is a sister that she talks about this copyright issues a lot, and she talks about being the first to do something and the first activist. Most of you know what I'm talking about. And my thing is, if only she knew. I feel like Patti LaBelle. If only you knew. It is going to require more than just yourself spouting out that you are the first activist for dark-skinned people, for your work to stick in the minds and in the hearts of others. And what black women need to realize is it's going to take other black women upholding our work. That's what it's going to take. Because no one is going to live forever. You're not going to live forever. So why are we not preparing each other to carry each other's work and each other's legacy? You know why? Because we don't want to be associated with each other. And that's sick. And unfortunately, we are not able to be associated with each other because we're hell-bent. There's too many black women that's hell-bent on... They think that the way they think about things is the right and the best way. This is the ultimate war of thought among black women. Black women tend to think that their way is the right way, it's the only way, it's the best way. So, you know, and to say that we're supposed to be the most educated group, actually I'm like, well, why are these people, if you're educated, why is it so hard to open your mind and like learn from other sisters? This is the strangest thing in the world. So black women, we're going to have to get past this hateration, because if we don't get over this hateration, this fear of associating with each other, we're going to continue losing, and we will not have any real impact on the black women that need us the most, the black women who probably don't even log in to social media accounts, who don't have social media accounts, or, you know, I mean, we need to be thinking, how are we going to change the real issues among us as black women? And the first thing is you need to come to the table with an open mind as a black woman. Black women, you need to put away your hidden agendas. Make what you are about known up front to your audience. Make sure people understand what you represent. We have a lot of people who are lying on sisters right now. You know, if you say the word swirler, if you support swirlers, that means you are a swirler. If you do not judge black women who have or choose to take the abortion route, then that means you are promoting abortion. You can't be open-minded in the black community. The black community is one of the most closed-minded, ignorant, and just ass backwards places you could ever live and dwell. You know, because people they half listen to you. They're half-ass thinkers. You know what I mean? They're half-ass thinkers, and so what we end up with is a lot of people who just they don't grasp concepts very well. They don't grasp simple or complex situations. They can't understand these things. So this is why I've been doing videos, is to try to bring a lot of things to the light that I see. We have just been dealing with so many, the past few weeks, disrespectful, hateful trolls. We've been just dealing with trolls, okay? And now we're past it. I'm over it. I'm over the trolls. I could care less. I know. And look, there's a lot of stuff, you know. And I don't get them often, but I do get death threats for speaking my mind, for trying to share with sisters. It's clear that my channel is for black women and that I'm talking to black women the majority of the time. However, I don't mind if other sisters listen in. I'm talking about, you know, non-black women or what have you. I'm just saying, but my channel's not for black males. But they keep attacking me. They want to attack me. They want to slander me. They want to do a lot of stuff. But the hate that we as black women have for each other, it's not going to help us continue dealing with these black males. It's not. And, you know, there's just black women who are hating in so many slick-ass ways. Okay, just because black women can hate you on some, I got a man and you don't. Or they think you don't have a man. Or they think you don't, you know, whatever they think. They'll hate you just for that. And it's a slick hate. You know what I mean? Like, I've noticed over the past few weeks that I've just been picking up on the vibrations, the universe revealing the spirits, the hearts and the mind of folks. And it's a real strong spirit. You would think that a black woman would be on some hateration shit if she doesn't have a man. Oh, no. You don't know what hateration is until you find the black women who are haters when they have a man. Now, that's another level of hatred right there. That's another level right there. And I'm just thinking, like, hold on. You don't know if the majority of these women have a man or not. Just because they're not saying he's black, you don't know what they have. But because you have a black man, you're really in your own sneak tip way hating on black women who don't worship the black phallus the way that you do. So now everybody's trying to call people just swirlers to lump them all in the same category. Swirlers, feminists. This is passive-aggressive bullshit. These are people who are just haters. Why are they hating on swirlers? Who another black woman sleeps with has nothing to do with you unless she's sleeping with you or your man. So if it's not you or your man, then what is your problem? Because you know black women, we have never been a group of women to just go around trying to help each other get a man. Come on, just keep it real. Some of you might be too young to realize what I'm saying, but all I'm saying is this is not that group of women. Matter of fact, that's just not a part of this culture. Now, I've had women over the, I know somebody you might be interested in. Look, no, I don't need your help, honey. I don't. I've already rejected quite a few this week. So what I'm saying is this is not that group of women. So why would you have black women reverse hating on you because you're not dating the race that they think you should date, or because you're promoting the date that you're promoting the races that you prefer, or the fact that you're open-minded to it? How are you going to hate on sisters for that? You want to lump them all in the category. Now, if that's not some hateration, then I don't know what is. And see, there's no help for people when they start hating on you in reverse. Hey, if you think what you have is fantastic and you love it, if you like it, I love it. I mean, that's what it is. If you like it, I love it. When people start hating on you in reverse, that shit is deep. You know, I'm just saying, like, and this is a lot of the culture and the world we live in. So when you have an education and you have a degree, people hate on you for that. You would think that the people who had the education would hate on the ones who hate on education. Oh no, the ones who don't have any degrees and don't have an education, they're hating on your ass and they feel validated for it. I mean, you know, this is what I'm talking about. And, you know, yeah, there's another sister I'm just thinking right now, you know, I'm like, okay, you are a blue-collar worker. You happen to have a man, and you're talking to us like we don't have men. You don't know this, but you're just telling us we don't, because we're not talking about a black man in the group that you're talking about. I'd love to see this man, by the way. But yeah, a lot of what you talk about, first of all, I would not be with a man of any race if I have to be a blue-collar worker. I'm sorry, I'm on that snob shit. Yeah, and I have some, you know, a little class issues there. Yes, I'm not trying to deal with I'm not trying to be a blue-collar sister on some engagement ish. I'm not doing that. I'm not having that. A lot of sisters, you know, they think they'll hate on you because they're like, well, you know, you educated, you got this, you got that, you don't have a man. And I'm like, well, look, no, you don't know what I have. First of all, this is the internet, so what I have does not have to be a part of every conversation on all of my videos. Nor does every sister who comments have to write out her biography to prove to other people any damn thing. This is the internet. She could prove her point about the topic she wants to speak on, but she didn't have to prove anything else. You know, people will hate on you because you just don't want a black man from this country. You might like black men from Brazil, your damn self. You might like black men from the Caribbean. I don't necessarily advise it unless you know what you're getting into, but there's some good-looking men down there. You might like men of all races, all colors. You know, by the way, I rushed through that last video that I did where I was asking sisters to stop protesting because I just wanted to get it up real quick and make a point there. But let me tell you something, black women. I told you, black women, that there's a lot of hateration. I have told you this for black women wearing weaves. And yes, I've told you, stop with I know a lot of black women are going to say, well, you know, it's just a hairstyle, it's just a decision, it's just a this, it's just a that. I got you. But I already told you, black women, you're receiving a lot of hate for wigs and weaves alone. And some of it the majority of it is being spoken through by the black male, but that white woman, I told you, I forgot which one of my videos. It was in my Beyonce video. I told you. You don't know what's in the mind of Becky black women, because I told you she's probably thinking as long as you are wearing her hair, she will wear your man. And now it's to the point where you don't even care that she's wearing your man. I would say this. That's why I said think through shit, black women, before you take such a hard stance on something. and then decide that you're going to be opposing other black women for it. Because while you think you're thinking through stuff, you might not be thinking through it hard enough or deep enough. Sometimes we oppose people and it's nothing but hateration. That's all it is. That opposition sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes that opposition is not well thought out. It's just hateration. And a lot of sisters are not realizing the hateration that they are receiving because of decisions they're making. One could be about something as goofy as hair, but they're not thinking through everything, so they just get on some hateration shit. Anybody hating on me about my wigs or my weaves, I'm done with y'all. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? I had enough. Like, no, you need to think through that. Think through the individual decision to do it. Think through the collective decision. Because and I'm telling you this because the way that white woman slammed that wig down in that black woman's hand, when she pulled that wig off in that Pepsi commercial, I'm telling you, that is letting you know there's a lot of hatred and disdain and mockery of black women. And so while you might be receiving hate and then opposing the natural hair community for wanting to wear your hair in wigs or weaves or whatever, you don't understand all that you are taking on. You're taking on that white woman's hate too for you. You're taking on black male's hate. Now you're trying to take on some hatred from other black women for being natural. You're defending to a fault there. That's why I say when your hateration starts going in reverse, watch out. Because at that point, you've been done over a few good times. A few good times, black women. Who we owe our loyalty to is ourselves first as black women. That's it. First and foremost, you owe yourself loyalty. Loyalty to you and you alone. Then after you are loyal to you, you can start to spread it out to those you care about. But we are not in a position as black women to continue letting so many, not only from small to large things, keep us divided. I do understand there's a cutoff point now. There's a cutoff point. You know, in order to get over this hateration from other black women, there's a cutoff point. There's a point where you know, you need to think through something, and you have done that, and then you recognize that other sister is just completely, I mean, no matter whether you talk in the sweetest way ever, it doesn't matter how you come at each other, the fact is you're coming from such different places that you may as well be on completely different teams. And you got to be on the lookout for that. And these things don't always have to be public, but they need to be real. They need to be real to you. Like you need to know. There's some people that are just so stubborn and so set in their ways and so closed-minded that it doesn't matter how open-minded you are, how accepting you are, how willing you are to learn and to be understanding of another black woman. There's just some black women out here that are just not for you. I mean, you know, I hate to break the news to you, but somebody had to do it. You know, and that's what I'm saying. So black women, we need to get to the point where we can assess and understand our differences. Some of the differences we have as black women, to be honest with you, we will never unite. We will never be a sisterhood with certain people. But for those of you who are who you understand who your enemies are, you understand who is constantly trying to basically throw you under the bus, there's a point where you just have to accept that and just know that there are black women who understand the same things that you understand. You need to stick with us. Stick with us, sisters. Because a lot of us are putting a lot on the line by doing videos trying to get to you. trying to speak with you, trying to make it understood. We're going to get over this hateration as black women over all of these stupid petty things, because some of this stuff is just not a difference in thought, a difference in opinion, a difference in conduct. Some of it is simply just motherfuckers as haters. I mean, I'm sorry, I can't put things, but so, I'm not going to be even so, like, sweet about it. Fuck that. I need to tell you exactly what I feel, and I feel like a lot of black women are just on some hating shit, and there's no other way around it other than for you to just get over it. When you can't get around that hating shit, you just have to get over it. Okay? That's the real deal. Black women, when you cannot get around hate from other black women, you need to get over it. Remember, your girl told you that, because this stuff is ranging from small to big. And anytime we can name things like, and I think skin color is small, because if you're really universal minded person, then you'll know how small the color of one's skin really is. And I'm not saying that melanin is not important, because melanin is everything, and melanin is truly righteousness. But I'm saying we black women need to understand the bigger picture, and how there's so many small things in that same big picture that are not important. They're just not. They're just obstacles that have been put in our way to keep us on some hating shit between each other. That's what it is. And where a lot of this shit came from, guess where? A lot of the males in our community. Because, I mean, I'm sorry, hating on somebody because of their skin, hair, height, size, weight, age, all of that, no, this is not really why you should just be against another black woman. These are not things that make sense in the grand scheme of people who actually are very intelligent. Okay? Hating on someone for these stupid, superficial things is dumb as hell. I'm just gonna call these things for what they are. I think black women who are a part of a lot of different things, groups and ideas and ways of life, oftentimes are part of them because they have not done enough research. They have not lived in a broad enough world. So there's a lot of black women who become very knowledgeable in one area of life, and they stick to that with that black woman loyalty, but they don't know enough about the other existences in the other ecosystems. So when you meet them, they're stuck in this one thing, and they may be very knowledgeable, and they're so rigid. And when you come to work, when you meet black women like that, you have to make up your mind. Are you going to be on some hating shit because she's in a small world? Or because she's not going to know to not hate on you because your world is bigger. She might admire you, she might not. But I'm just saying, we as black women need to recognize the big and small worlds that we come from. And we need to understand how we're going to approach each other from the onset. And stop reinventing the wheel so much. Oh my God, black women. Reinventing the wheel. There's things that we know about our own people, our own sisters, and we don't know quite how to do this. So what I'm saying is, like, we don't want to bring stereotypes to black women, right? But you don't want to ignore the fact that you could be talking to someone who fits a stereotype. You have to be of both minds and willing to part with whichever one is not right or fair when it comes to another black woman. You give every black woman that initial respect and opportunity. That's how you work around the issue. You can make assessments quickly without making judgments, really hard judgments about people, specifically our own sisters. That's how you can get over some of this hateration. And you will avoid a lot of stuff if you don't overcommit yourself until you're sure of what you're getting into with other sisters. I mean, that's just what only a wise person would do. Read the footnotes and the subtext with other black women, okay? I've made it known what I'm about on YouTube for the past several years, and I've made myself known throughout most of my videos where I'm coming from. I've not hidden some of my deeper belief systems from my subscribers and my listeners. I just haven't. But as we continue to push forward, black women, we're going to need to be able to band together to accomplish some great things for ourselves, but mostly for the women of the future. We've got to do that because you are the product of a woman who came before you, your mother. You are. Some of you have sisters. Some of you have older sisters. Okay, everybody has a grandmother, whether she's living or not. And I'm just saying, you are a product of the work that they did and the work that they did not do. And the only thing I regret about what we're doing here on YouTube is that more women are not being made aware of our discussions. Because I believe that we are talking about a lot of the issues that are really going to help change the women of the future for the better. And it's so funny, the hateration is so strong for sisters, and there's so much hateration between sisters that some black women can't even see that what I talk about a lot in my videos, it is going to help black women. Okay? I'm not a single mother. I don't knock nor do I judge black women who are. The black women who are here who are single mothers, they're not promoting that more black women go out and become single mothers. So you can easily respect them for that. But there's people who find hate for that. Hate for them because they're not worshiping black phallus enough. But then you listen to someone like me, I'm not a single mother. There's hatred for that. You should see the comments I get sometimes on my video and just on my channel and just people sending me messages. I mean, people really are just never going to not be haters of black women. My question to black women is, when are we not going to be haters of black women ourselves? Until my next video, I'm out.